getting kids outside, and today, more importantly, you guys outside, and moving around, collecting measurements, and kind of getting a feel for the AirBeam and the app that we use to interact with the AirBeam itself. So this is directly following up how we do measurements is the actual field measurements portion. We always tell folks, one of the biggest things, and you'll see one of the roles that we can assign here is being aware of your surroundings if you're going to go out and do stuff, not only for safety purposes, but also because it's useful information that could be used to help interpret the data that they're collecting as well. So that's kind of one of the biggest things in this section as well. So so it's really funny. So basically the way the AirBeams work, and I think Lena and I had been talking about kind of the best way that we're going to dole these things out to the students, and we recognize that there's a limited number of AirBeams and phones and a much higher number of students in the classroom. And what's kind of neat about the way we've tackled that, because there will be classrooms that only get 5 sensors, right? And you have 30 students or 25 students, something like that. So how do we kind of divvy that up so that people are kind of getting a little bit of everything? And so the kit comes with kind of a couple different roles that people can play within this kind of measurement approach. And so there's the folks who actually carry the AirBeam themselves and are kind of going around trying to do what the measurements are. There's the phone carrier, the person whose job it is to kind of use the app. You'll see as you guys go along using the phone that you can make notes in there. You can take photos and kind of annotate the walkabout that they're doing when they're actually collecting the measurements. There's an observer whose job it is to kind of write some things down as well, take some notes as they're on their path. The cartographer, the person whose job it is to kind of help map out the route that they're going to take with hopes that we can find some particles somewhere and get some really interesting readings. And then the timekeeper, so for this component, you let them walk around, they should know when they have to come back, right? So, and also keeping track of what time of day they saw certain things. You can always go back and kind of reference those things online if you know the time that something, event might have happened or something like that. So, I know that there's, sometimes a concern about not having enough phones for all the students, but I think if you work on this and kind of rotate out the responsibilities, it can help kind of make up for the fact there's a limited number of AirBeams. So these are just some kind of bits of information here just overall, and we'll get into the actual pairing and syncing of all the phones. But the AirBeam is this little guy right here. The inlet is down here at the bottom, so it's important when you're going around in these that you're not kind of blocking that, you're not holding it this way. They come with lanyards, if I'm not mistaken, too, so you can always clip it onto something and wear it on their neck, and then hopefully it's not kind of being blocked, and you kind of have a steady stream of air that's coming through. Again, some notes here. It is a Bluetooth connection. These phones aren't the highest quality phones. They're set up in such a way that they're pretty minimal. The only thing they should really be using it for is connecting to Wi-Fi to be able to pair with this, and the Aircasting app. We try to delete some of the other stuff that maybe is non-essential. Although Google Maps is on there, it's good for them to kind of have a sense of what they're doing as well. What was that? Fortnite. No Fortnite on here. No Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or TikTok. What are the kids using nowadays? Because Vine died, but TikTok's a new Vine coming up. Yeah, I don't know. I have a 13-year-old nephew. He tries to keep me up to speed. But not the strongest Bluetooth connectivity. You don't really want the phones and the AirBeams to be kind of more than 10 feet apart, something like that. I mean, you notice that if you ever try to walk around in your house with your phone away from like a Bluetooth speaker, it's a lot harder to hear it the further away you are. It doesn't really connect very well. So things like that are good to keep track of. I think each AirBeam kit kind of comes with a quick start guide as well, so I can pass this around to folks. But it's kind of a fairly intuitive system. So the first thing we'll do right now, we'll power up the phones so that we can connect to that Wi-Fi network we were just talking about. And so, actually, Lena, I'm wondering how you guys have done this in the past with teachers. So you do need to sign up for an account on here, an email address. And I know in previous schools the way we've done it is we kind of set up one master Gmail account that is shared amongst all of the teachers who are doing the trainings whose students will be receiving the AirBeams. I don't know if there's a Sea Frog specific ones you guys have set up for anything for any of the teachers or.
Yeah, we have it set up.